Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the numerology and the energy for the upcoming full moon that's occurring on August 12th, 2022. Before we get into the forecast, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading to take a closer look at your own numerology and your own energy associated with those vibrations, book some time with me. I would love to work with you. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so for this illumination, we are working with quite heavily the energies of the 17-8 and the 12-3. And so I'm going to break it down again collectively, which we are all a part of the collective. So we will feel the influence in some way, or we will hold space for someone who's feeling the influence in some way. And then I'm going to take a closer look at each individual life path number. So collectively, we are working with the energies of the 3 and the 8, most predominantly. So life force creation energy that's begging to be channeled into something physical and tangible in a big way. So again, 3 being the creation energy, creative life force that wants to be expressed, and 8 energy that sort of brings the power dynamic, that brings the physicality to whatever this is. And so the idea being the 3 energy, the 8 being bringing it into physical form. So this could be quite literal, such as having a baby or like inception of a baby or, starting that process, whatever the case may be. Or it could be the beginning or the culmination, because again, this is a full moon, or the birth of a big creative idea or project that you've been working on. So this can translate in so many different ways. Maybe you've been carrying around an idea or inspiration, and now the people, the places, the things sort of surface to assist you in bringing that idea or that dream into reality. Because again, just think of like 3 is the inspiration. 3 is the creative, it's that creative life force, but it's like a feeling. It's inspiration, right? It's more ethereal. The 8 energy is very physical. It's very ambitious. It's goal-oriented. So you couple these two together and there's something big and creative. There's some kind of life force energy that wants to be molded into something very physical, very tangible, that can be a solution or can be utilized by a greater population. This is not small energy where it's like meant to only be consumed by self or sort of expressed only for the sole purpose of self. This is, again, very big, expansive, meant to be felt by the masses or a greater population energy, right? And it comes down to your own creative idea, your own creative inspirations, and how that translates for you and how you can move it into the physical in some way. So this is really powerful, big energy. And this is so supportive for, again, bringing those dreams, those inspirations into the reality, into the 3D physical plane. This energy, especially coupled with the 8, or because it's coupled with the 8, this is all about, again, 3D physical assistance, realizing an idea or a dream, right? Something that you want to create. So in astrology, what's interesting, and I say it's interesting, but the astrology and the numerology a lot of times correlate. There's a lot of synergy there. And so that's why I always say, like, if you get a numerology reading, make sure you're also getting an astrology reading and vice versa, because it just opens so many doors. In astrology, this moon falls within the sign of Aquarius, so we can also sort of feel the push to think unconventionally or to think outside the box in a way that takes the needs of the greater good into consideration. So both the 8 and the 3, again, are big, ambitious energies, and they are meant to be expressed in ways that, again, are going to have some kind of greater impact potentially on others. So typically I would say if this was just 3 energy, then it would be energy that would potentially just want to be, it's that creative life force energy that simply wants to be expressed for business, for pleasure, for self, whatever, as a hobby, whatever. However, For those using this energy to create in the physical form an idea or, whatever the case may be, have fun in the process, of course, right? Like that's, if you're not taking inspired action, then you're taking action out of obligation, and that sort of diminishes that life force process, right? That life force creative process. So with the energy of the 8, again, this is looking to land in a way that is associated with business, money, solutions, power or influence, but not in a dominating way, not in a manipulative way. This is looking again to equalize power or balance power or redistribute power or whatever the case may be. Because think of taking that big creative idea and moving it into something tangible that has the potential to be a solution for not only self, but others as well. This also is going to bring into focus, because it's that 8 energy, empowerment, right? So maybe you're creating something, maybe you're bringing something into the reality that is not only empowering for self, but potentially empowering for others as well. Think like resources and so on, right? And so anything that 8 energy really has influence over. Now, 8 energy is also incredibly spiritual. It's very connected to a higher consciousness, to the spiritual realm. But really for these purposes, I do feel like, because we have this 3 energy that we're working with, which is also very connected, it's very spiritual, it's very ethereal, because it's married with the 8 under this illumination, this is, again, bringing a inspiration or creative idea into the physical and making it, having integrity behind it, to where it's not just for selfish purposes, where it's not just to serve self, right? There's something bigger at play here. And we're also in a 6 universal year. So again, nurturing, community are all kind of really taken into place here. So this all plays together. This has the potential to be a very big, influential full moon. So again, there's often a very tangible, practical, and goal associated with 8 energy. And so that's why I say there's something here where it's not just simply for pleasure. Like, you should get pleasure out of this process, but there's meant to be more to the goal, right? To the end vision. So again, this is a full moon. So it will bring things to culmination now, or it will shine an enormous spotlight on what you have been missing out on, or what you're missing when it comes to getting started on whatever this is, or making whatever this is happen, right? It's kind of like the 4 of Cups. I'm just getting an image of the 4 of Cups in tarot, where it's you're so focused on something, and this is going to illuminate sort of that missing puzzle piece that's going to help you to get started, or help you to make big strides in accomplishing whatever this is. And I would also say this is sort of star energy in tarot. Again, big dreams coming to reality. But you have to put in the effort. You're the conduit here. You're the catalyst. You're the one who's going to take the inspiration and make it into something, make it into a reality, right? So it's not something that it's just a gift from the universe. Here you go. You have to do the work. You have to say yes to this. You have to show up to it. You have to be persistent. You have to keep showing up to it, to make that dream a reality, right? You are the missing puzzle piece, basically, which, yeah. So maybe you're the 4th cup, right? You are the missing link. Anyway, so this moon will highlight for you maybe where it is that you've been procrastinating, or just convincing yourself that you're not ready, or that you can't do it, or whatever the case may be. And so it's going to be up to you to kind of work with that mindset, or those mindsets, to shift that energy so that you can step into this believing that you're capable of it, and taking that first step, because that's always what it ultimately always comes down to, is taking that first step. If you don't get started, it's not going to get done, right? That's just the way it works. Someone else may do it, but they're not going to do it the way that you would do it. So if you want whatever this is, and you want it to be done and, according to your vision, and with the integrity behind that vision, you have to take the first step. You have to put in the effort. And this energy is so supportive for this. So this 12-3 energy will also bring the reminder of sort of like cause and effect. Often whatever happens is a result of an individual's own choice or decision. So either conscious or unconscious, right? So reality is illusion and illusion is reality. So point being, if you sit through all of this beautiful energy with a negative mindset, replaying all of the reasons why you can't do something or why you aren't good enough or whatever the case may be, whatever we tell ourselves, right? To get started, to keep ourselves from getting started, then guess what? You will be right and you won't do anything and you won't accomplish what it is that your soul is trying to get you to accomplish. So don't ever forget how incredibly powerful you are with not only your own like sort of expansiveness and your freedom, but also within your own barriers and restrictions. You have just as much power in your expansiveness, in your creativity, in, stepping into purpose, in all of those things. You have all of that power, all of that empowerment, but you are just as powerful when it comes to your own barriers and your own restrictions. So be really mindful of that and use that power wisely, right? Especially with this energy. So this 12-3 energy helps us to sort of find ways in which to bring conflicting polarities together in a really harmonious way. So this is just, like I said, in astrology, I'm an Aquarius moon. And so this is a very personal moon for me, but this is just such beautiful energy, such big, powerful energy, especially for creating something, for bringing something to life. So yeah, if there's that idea or that inspiration that you've been talking yourself out of, or you've really wanted to do, or whatever the case may be, this energy is really going to assist you in that. You just have to get started. You have to take the first step, right? And then continue to take those steps. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at your life path number. Life path number 4. So for us, there may be some unforeseen changes or reversals when it comes to something that we've been working on. We may be asked to sort of change direction, go on a detour. Something unexpected may come in that makes us see things a little bit differently. And so we really are being asked at this time to sort of open our minds and to see things in a new perspective, in a different perspective. Just to see things differently and to be open to the suggestions and the ideas of others in helping us to do that. Because a lot of times with 4 energy, we can be sort of set in our ways. We can be too rigid. We can be like, we know how to do this and we're going to do it, even if it's the hard way. So we just really need to open our minds a bit here and just listen and entertain whatever it is that comes in, whatever new perspective, whatever new idea comes in, without assuming that we have all of the answers, right? So this can be a time where this energy will really assist us in bridging those big ethereal ideas into the physical plane. And so trust the process. And again, be as open as possible. You know a lot, you have perfected a lot as a 4, but sometimes that can create, again, that sort of rigidity and actually restrict us from our own potential, right? Others can offer new ideas to work smarter, not harder, and to ultimately have the greatest amount of impact, right? In whatever it is that we're trying to create in purpose. So again, when we try to do everything ourselves and only do it the way that we know to do it, we limit or we constrict or restrict, right? Like the process and the potentiality of whatever it is that we're trying to create. So when we can collaborate or see different perspectives and open up to new ideas, we build that energy. That energy becomes expansive, right? And so I do think for us, this is going to be potentially bring in, again, new people to work with, new ideas, new resources, whatever, to collaborate and work with others to create whatever this is. Like 4s will often try to do it on their own. They'll try to just make it happen. as quickly and as efficiently and as effectively as possible. But I do feel like this is going to be a time where we're going to be like, we're really going to have to like work with a team and collaborate and listen and be open and integrate those ideas and those, because they're probably going to be a little bit different than how we would do it or what we would think about something, right? But that's where the growth is. That's where the potential lies. So I would say that we're probably going to be asked under this full moon to step outside of our comfort zone, to do things differently, to see things differently. I would say that that's probably very accurate, especially since this is an Aquarius full moon in astrology. So yeah, be open to the collaboration, be open to doing things differently, even if it feels uncomfortable, and just see where it takes you, right? And this is going to be an opportunity for fours to lead alongside of others and not sort of just take the reins and go with it in their own way, right? So interesting energies coming in for us, but this could be very powerful when it comes to creating or building whatever it is that we're trying to build, right? Or create. So just remember that these people are being sent to us for a reason, right? These ideas, these, again, resources, whatever it is, even if it's outside of our comfort zone to incorporate and integrate, it's it's to create something bigger than what our mind can comprehend, right? So work with the energy the best that you can and just try to stay open, listen, and integrate. All right, fours, take it easy. Bye for now.